Moving on, I will discuss the basics of Sufism. Sufism is a series of concepts and practices that range from poverty, seclusion, deception, depriving the soul, singing, and dancing, and is based on a mix of many different religions and philosophies, such as Greek, Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, Hinduism, as well as Islam. Sufism has been described as mystical Islamic belief and practice in which Muslims seek to find the truth of divine love and knowledge through direct personal experience of God. Moving on to practices of Sufism, the way of life for a Sufi is called tariqa, or path. The first step of this path is repentance and submission to a guide. If you are accepted by the guide, you become a disciple and are given instructions for asceticism and meditation. Other instructions may be for sexual abstinence, fasting, and poverty. On your way to illumination, the mystic will undergo a change in spiritual states. Such spiritual states may be happy spiritual expansion, fear and hope, and longing and intimacy. God granted change in intensity according to the spiritual situation. The culmination of the path is interior knowledge. This implies that a union of lover and beloved, showing man and God. The final goal is one's qualities and the entire personality, usually accompanied by spiritual intoxication. After the annihilation, the mystic enters a second sobriety in which he re-enters the world and continues the journeys of God. Now that you know a little bit more about Sufism, I will explain to you their beliefs. Sufism has core principles in which they value. The first is tawakkul, which means they have to absolutely trust God, no questions asked. The next principle is tawhid, which reveals the truth that there is no deity but God. The next principle is tawhid, which conveys a difficult meaning in which nothing truly exists but God or nature. And the love of God for man and the love of man for God are also very central to Sufism and are the subject of most Islamic mystical poetry and hymns. Next, I will talk about rituals in Sufism. One ritual of Sufism is dhikr, otherwise known as prayers. It consists of all the possible names for Allah. Baghdad introduced Sama, otherwise known as music and poetry, in the 9th century with a purpose of having fun and a memorable experience. In Sufism, it is often considered degeneration of the practice. Groups such as whirling dervishes, members of Turkish Sufism. Whirling dervishes is based on the teachings of the famous mystic Rumi. The practice consists of spinning around in circles. This is considered a form of meditation that is very common. Ritual clothing and positioning of your body during the spinning are highly symbolic. For instance, the tall camel hair hat represents the tomb of the ego. The white cloak represents the ego's shroud. The uplifted right hand indicates the readiness to receive grace from God. Thanks so much for watching my videos. If you would like to go to my group conclusion, please click here. If you would like to learn more about beliefs and sacred texts, the links will be above. Click here. Choose one. Bye!